Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Old Potato, and this is Factory Town. In the last episode, we just about managed to get a handle on grabbers, how they operate, how splitters operate, etc., etc., etc. So therefore, I feel that at the start of this episode, we're in a prime position to capitalize on that newfound knowledge. Man, I love knowledge. I don't know about you guys, but I love knowledge. And now, hopefully, we'll be able to take advantage of the fact that we've learned so much. Let's get a cloth conveyor belt that will take the resources from here, there, and then there. I think that will do it. If we get a grabber. If we get a grabber and then a splitter, pretty much just the most basic form of operation, then that should pretty much divide the resources rather reasonably in half. And in the process, we save ourselves 2 wagons, which is pretty darn good. The crate, unfortunately, is filling up relatively rapidly. I don't think that we can actually fill... I don't think we can fill things up fast enough. Okay, actually, let me try this again. What we'll do is we'll get rid of that splitter and we'll get rid of you two. But what we can do is we can actually get 2 grabbers to operate in this area. And therefore, that means that we should be able to take 2... that's not what I wanted. We should be able to take 2 bits of grain out at any given time. There we go. Perfect. All right, that's looking pretty darn good. And that means that hopefully we should have an almost continual supply of grain. It might wear down the storage chest just a little bit, but it actually seems to be holding pretty darn steady. So I'm pretty happy about that. That's pretty darn good. You know what? That's pretty nice. That is pretty darn nice. One of the problems that I think that we're going to start to have in this area is that we won't have enough grain to maybe sustain this farm as long as we really want to, but it is what it is. Whatever. Anyway, we've got the resources that are currently being produced at these 2 pastures. Now, I talked a little bit about wanting to... Well, firstly, there was a couple of things that I wanted to do, actually. One was to streamline the process of the barn over here and animal feed. At the moment, the system that we've got going is actually pretty flawless. Like, I think it's pretty darn good. We've also got a pretty darn good process going with the wells. However, I think that maybe we need to modify it just a bit. By just a bit, I mean maybe bring everything forward by 1. Okay, good, because we can really cut down on the number of people that we're needing to transport between the barn and the pastures. And actually, I tell you what, let's have a little look at the terrain modification tools. So that should be tool, terrain flattened down. That's what I want, I think. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty darn good going. Alright. Alright, so here's my thought process. Also, we should probably remove these bits of grain. Yep, which we can also do. Remove resource. It does cost just a little bit of money. That's a price that I'm perfectly willing to pay. Okay, so this is still going to be the area in which we do all of our pasteurizing, so to speak. Is it called pasteurizing? I mean, it literally is based on a pasture. In fact, you know what? Let's free up a little bit more room. I know we're burning through a couple of coins right now, but that's fine. Happy to pay that price. Considering they're just yellow coins anyway. And we've just recently reignited our yellow coin production because, of course, now we're going to be making flour relatively consistently and then shipping it over to the food market. So our production of flour should be increasing rather rapidly. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is getting a good few pastures, but rather than putting them right here, we're actually going to move them along a little bit and we're going to keep them spaced out. so I think that that's probably good. I'll have one there. We'll have a little gap. Do we want a gap? Yeah, I think we probably want a gap. Okay, you need to come out here. You need to come out there. You need to come out there. Perfect. Pasture, pasture, pasture. Pasture eyes. Okay. And then that's... Ooh, this is all getting very complex very quickly. But I'm going to try and get 3 or 4 pastures in this area. That's my plan. And the way that I'm planning to do that, what do we need? Oh, we need 100 gold or 30 stone. All right, well that's fine. We can make do with 3 for now because it'll be a good sort of like acid test of if things are going to go well. So I want to get leather, I want to get wool. Let's get wool production. Let's get leather. Let's get 2 wool production and then 1 leather production. We can always amend that a little bit later. That's 3 wool production potato. All right, fine. You know what? Let's just leave it with 3. Let's leave it with... In fact, no. We do actually need 1 leather for making books, for binding books. So we'll have to do that. That's fine. Okay, so now what we want to do, I believe, is we want to go to structural or logistics block, should I say? We want to go to grabber, and we want to get 2 grabbers. You're going to have to come out here in order to make this work. And then we're going to have 2 grabbers that are going to basically deploy resources to this area. Terrain is too steep. All right, that's fine. I can deal with that. Okay, so that should theoretically mean that animal feed will be supplied in plentiful quantities to those 2 pastures. At the last pasture over here, we're going to do pretty much the same. It's just going to be in a slightly different location. Right there. Perfect. Get myself a little grabber. Grand. All right, great. So that should be the resources pretty much split evenly. I know it's not technically an even split, but it's pretty much an even split. The pasture should never really have to worry about any resources ever again. So there we go. Okay, so that's one thing sorted. I was thinking about maybe trying to integrate the water system onto the back side of this. I don't know how I really feel about that, to be honest, but we'll see in a little bit. There we go. Let's get the terrain modification tools once again. There we go. Just a little bit more. Fine. All right, that's good enough. And then let's get ourselves a well a little bit further away. Just about there. Yep, that's perfect. Can you guys walk over the belt? I don't think they can walk over belt, which is not necessarily a problem, but it might be. Because I wanted to see if I could try and extract the resources from here via belt, which might prove to be a bit of a problem. What we can do actually is we can do structural ramps. We can put structural ramps in place so that, yeah, something like this. Bear with me here, folks. Wooden pillar scaffold. Yep. And then going to want to get ourselves another scaffold ramp there. Perfect. Okay. Is that perfect? Is it what we want? I think it kind of is. I'm trying to automate this whole process, and I'm just trying to think like a couple of steps ahead of where we need to be. So we need a way to deliver water, basically. We need a way to deliver water, and I think that a system like this might just do it. So if we have, for example, I'll just sort of walk you through my thoughts here. If we have paths, if we have one path that comes down here, basically, yeah, so we can do that, and that's a water path, for example. Then we can have the output, which can come out here, and in fact, turn under there. That will allow me to do that. Okay, that's really, really cool. So that's pretty much perfect. That's pretty much perfect. In fact, we don't even need to make it go any higher than that. We can just do, if I've got this right, we can just do a cloth conveyor belt on top. No, we can't do that. All right, that's fine. That's not a problem. I believe that there is another type of structural block that I can actually use for this. Can I just do a stone bridge? Let me have a look. Wood arch. That's the one. That's the thing that I was looking for. Okay, so now it should work, right? Definitely works with regards to being on top. I'm not entirely sure if it'll allow me to fit a block underneath. I should probably redo the order of that. It's weird because all of the resources are basically flat on the belt. It's the wrong type of block. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty darn good. There we go. What do you know? That's fantastic. That's absolutely key. And as long as we can line up the well, line up the water supplies, we should have no issues making this dream a reality. All right, let me quickly replicate what we've just done here. Pretty sure we could actually cull the distance that we've got between the ramp and that area, but I'm not gonna overcomplicate things too much yet. Paths. Yep. Oh no, we're out of cloth. Alright, well that's a bit of a bummer. Are we still making cloth? Oh, we got a lot of cloth. What's the hold up then here? Oh, we got, we're not outputting any... We're not outputting any wheels. I presume we've run out of wheels? Yeah, it looks like we've actually run out of wheels. Well, that's a bit of a problem, I must confess. Alright, the bookbinding area is going pretty well. Do we have anyone that delivers wheels to the workshop? I don't think we do. There we go. Yeah, this is a problem because the barn is a little bit overfilled with resources at this present moment, which is something else that we need to fix. Because I want to start dragging things, or I want to start transporting things back to the base for storage. At the moment, we're not really cutting it when it comes to storage in general. We're not doing particularly well. So I'd like to try and make that a priority. Try and get some better storage. I don't think that there is packager, bundles and packs items, greater quantities. That would be pretty darn good to get actually. Machinery, we need machinery in order to make that dream a reality. Fine. Boat building. Ooh. Yeah, well, boat building is the last red recipe that we can actually unlock, so I guess we'll go and do it. Sure. Let's make it happen. Alright, how many cloth belts do we have? That's the real question. Where are these being transported? Oh, they're being transported to this barn right here. Okay. That's fine. That's fine with me. What I'm content on doing right now is having one output belt for these pastures. So I guess we can let it run, sure. That needs to go there, that needs to go there. That needs to go there, that needs to go there. Perfect. Then let's get ourselves some arches. Wooden arch. There we go. Man, I love this game. This is so tight. This is absolutely so tight. Okay, and then you go in there. You go in there. Okay, grand. So now what we need to do, or one of our priorities, one of the many things that we have to do actually, is try and get the water to the area that we've specified it should go to. I should probably try and put these belts on like a de-elevated plane so that we can at least retain access to the pasture. But if we need to, we can just build a bridge over the top. I'm not too bothered about access to these pastures. Everything should go relatively smoothly when it comes to importing and exporting resources, if we can make this work. And if we can make this whole pasture system work, then, you know, that's bits of leather and cloth and all of that stuff that I don't even need to, really need to worry about. So that would be wonderful if I could make that all just go perfectly smoothly. Of course, when in life do things go smoothly? I'm not entirely sure they ever go entirely to plan, but hey ho. Okay, that there. That there. You know what? Let's flip that around a little bit. Okay. Scaffold block. Yup. And yup. And let's get some paths. Alright. Looks like we're at a belt again. That's not a problem. We can wait a little bit. We can wait a little bit to get it all done. Okay, we shouldn't need these resources anymore. Shouldn't need these wagons, should I say, anymore. What have you got? You've got animal feed in yourself? Drop off the animal feed. There we go. Right, I do want to get foresters as well, and I also want to start thinking about replanting some of these trees because we're burning through them at a fairly rapid rate. I also want to get quarries. Quarries, it's got to be a priority for us. We got so many dudes that are currently just working on basic resource collection. You know what? You know, we can actually devote more people to doing basic resource collection. There's no reason for them not to be doing something at this moment in time. Just, you know, just take resources to the nearest thing. There we go. Come on. I think it's you. Right, fine. Grand. Have we got any more belt? We got any more belt yet? Looks that way. Great. Perfect. And then... Man, what's the holdup? I presume it's got to be wheels, right? Okay, we should probably allocate some people towards that sort of stuff. Yeah, okay. Workshop is currently being transported to the barn. There's not been any cloth production for a while. Understandably so. Why are you not... What's going on here? Yeah, there. And then there. Perfect. Alright, great. As long as everything's going smoothly, as long as everything's going tickety-boo, I'm actually okay with this. But we do need more lumber mill production, apparently. Alright, that animal feed is getting dumped. Absolutely getting dumped. There we go. Okay, with that little bit of extra plank manufacturing, we should be fine. We're still manufacturing pages, which is fine. We're probably going to be out of red coins. Oh, we're not going to be out of red coins soon. There's no rush that we're out of red coins anytime soon. We should be transporting a whole heap of stone blocks to the general store in order to make money. We could actually start doing that with cloth. That would definitely be an idea. Why is this taking such a long time? Okay, I've actually got an idea here. I've got an idea, and my idea is to make a one-way system. My idea is to make a one-way system. I want to make this a one-way throughput system because everything is just getting so confused. In fact, actually, what we should do is we should have like little waiting areas. All right, this is going to require a little bit of a redesign. Okay, hold on. We want to remove some of these resources as well, unfortunately. It's not ideal that we have to remove a couple of resources, but it is what it is. I mean, they're herbs. We've got a lot of herbs at the moment. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. We got a heck of a lot of herbs. We have a heck of a lot of herbs. All right, so it's basically going to be that redrawn, and that. All right, so Here's my idea. Here's my idea. We are going to turn this into stone blocks. We're going to blockify this area. That's definitely something that I want to do. However, what we're going to do is we're going to create a one-way system here that only allows access up this way. Right? So, theoretically... actually, we need to do... Will that work on roads? I think that it'll work on roads, right? Alright, apparently if you circumnavigate or circumvent that block. Alright, well that's really cheaty. I feel that that's not... You're not abiding by the spirit of the one-way arrows, I must say. Alright, there we go. How about that? Will that stop things? Alright, I feel that's a pretty good way to do it. If it works, right? Let's turn it all into road. What? What? How? Okay, so that... Alright. It's not perfect. It should stop congestion, though. Will that make any difference? I'm just trying to think of everything that I can possibly do to make this quicker. Alright, that seems to have created a fairly good highway. I should probably take the cars off the parked highway. Yeah, but that's pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with how that ended up turning out. It's not exactly perfect, but it's, you know, it's occupied some time whilst we were faffing around waiting for cloth belts to be made. Alright, that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good. In fact, what I should actually do is I should actually remove this arrow so that it means that access to the grain mill can still be quick. Hold on a minute. Are you dropping off to the... You're dropping off to the... Hold on a second. Oh my goodness. That's why our happiness has been irregularly low. Oh, that's very, very interesting. Alright, we've been dropping off at an individual house. And that's why our coins have been just, you know, deteriorating very rapidly. Because we've been dropping off grain at an individual house as opposed to dropping it off elsewhere. You know what, I actually kind of want to reinstate that arrow, that one-way arrow. I feel that it's not fair that one wagon can flaunt the law, but everyone else has to take the long way around. There we go. Alright. Yeah, that makes sense. Look at this. Okay, perfect. You're going around the one-way out? Why? Okay. Looking good, though. That's looking really, really good. Okay, I feel much happier with this now. We've got a nice highway that takes us down. Crucially, we added 2 little parking spots for the wagons, so that means that wagons don't have to constantly be bumping into each other across here. That's great. I'm really, really happy with that. That's actually what I'm after, really. It's totally perfect. It's totally perfect, or it's better than what it was. Let's see if we can fix the issues that we had with the cloth belts. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so here's the real question. Let me see that. Okay, so this is it. This is gonna be it for us. I feel that there's a much more efficient way of doing this, but this is just the first iteration of what I suspect will be a much more impressive system in time. Alright. Still no grabification by this grabber over here. Don't know why that's not happening, but it is what it is, right? I was thinking that maybe we could just do it by splitting, but apparently that's maybe not possible. I suspect that we might just not have enough output on this well. But in actuality, we will end up having enough output, because if you have a little look, you can see that the inputs are going to start piling up on the belts, which isn't the perfect way to do your resource management, But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Okay, so with that, that will be our... what do you call it? That will be our inputs sorted. Okay. So with that, move you up and around here. We need more conveyor belt, apparently. That's fine. Oh, hold on a minute. Maybe we've created ourselves a little bit of a blockage. Uh-oh. Well, that's not so good. Apparently, that's not a thing that we can do. Can we fix that issue if we just put in scaffold or something else? Maybe like a bridge, a wood bridge? Or are we going to have to rejig this entire system? That's going to be kind of a bummer, I think. If that is indeed what we have to do. Alternatively, what we could do is we could just, like, go downhill. Yeah, so let me sort of see if that would work. I didn't mean to delete that. Whatever. Yeah, let's see if we could, like, modify the terrain. Terrain block down. Can I not do that? Oh, apparently we can't go any lower because that is the water line. Alright, well that's problematic. That's not something that I thought would happen. Alright, structural blocks, wood bridge. Yeah, we need to try see if we can do it with a wood bridge. Again, this is the first iteration. There's gonna be problems. There's definitely gonna be problems, don't get me wrong. There's definitely going to be problems. And there is a problem right now. There is a problem. But it's going to be fixable. It's going to be fixable. What am I even looking for? I'm looking for structural blocks. I'm looking for bridge. Will that work? It doesn't look like it's going to work. Yeah. All right. Well, we need 2 blocks then. We need 2 blocks. Which is it doable? Is it doable in the current iteration, or do we need to do something else maybe? I don't know. I think that this might be a mission for me between episodes. I might try and sort this issue out. But I'm so glad that we've fixed our problem of grain mill delivery, flour delivery. Yeah. We've also got a nice one-way system in there, so I feel that we've actually been really, really productive in this episode. I was kind of hoping that we'd get on to doing this sky train that I'm currently thinking might be a solution to our storage problems. As in, what I basically am envisioning is that we have this system which picks up all of the outputs from the pastures, and it's going to take the outputs to a sorting area, and we're basically just going to bump off all of the resources that we want to stay around here, i.e., you know, stuff, whatever it is, the wool to make the cloth, we'll just bump that off here. All of it can go into a crate maybe, and then into a workshop, and then the rest of the stuff we can just carry around here, and then up here, and then into our base. That's the plan. But between episodes, I'll rejig this. I'll see how it works, and yeah, we can come back refreshed and fully ready to go. Ladies and gents, thanks very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Over the Potato. This has been Factory Town. I'll see you next time. Bye.